The planning to reopen schools continues, and as of right now, the administration is looking at a hybrid model where students will be in the classrooms for shortened periods and learning remotely the rest of the time. District leaders and school committee members say it is important to have students in the buildings if possible for better engagement and socialization, though some families have opted to go full remote and some high risk educators will also be working virtually. Earlier this summer, the Burlington Educators Association had signed on to a regional letter of teachers' unions pushing for a full remote start to the school year. However, in an interview with new BEA President Patrick Murphy, he explained that the views of the organization have changed.
That's a document from the summer, and certainly nothing is set in static. And I still agree with very much with the sentiment of that letter, that our reentry should be guided by science, not by a school calendar, that districts should be held accountable for meeting those safety benchmarks, assuring that our buildings are safe places to go into. And at the moment, I feel that we are working very well together to meet all those benchmarks, to get to a place where we all feel that our buildings are as safe as they can possibly be for both the staff and the students that are going into them.
Patrick said everyone wants students back in the building, as long as everything is done to make it as safe as possible.
I think I can safely say that no one wants to be back in the classroom with students more than the teachers of Burlington Public Schools. From the union side, we just want to make sure and have the assurances that health and safety benchmarks are met. Of course, there's no foolproof, 100% safe situation. But the three school committee, the BEA, and district administration, we all share the same goal of making our schools as safe as possible for staff and students and the community at large that they're coming from and going back to before and after school. We want to return to in-person learning. We just want to make sure as best we can that it is a safe environment to go back into.
He also said he thinks the model as it stands right now looks like a workable plan and that moving forward, the emphasis has to be on keeping students in the classrooms.
I think we're working towards a hybrid model that I am feeling comfortable with. I think one of the things we really wanted to make sure is we want to do everything possible to prevent a situation that will jolt us back home. I believe that's more detrimental to the students to sort of get back into the building and then have to go remote again than a phase in. I am feeling pretty good and feeling confident that the three organizations are working very well together right now to make sure those benchmarks are in place. We're meeting those benchmarks to, as best we can, assure health and safety for our BEA members, students, and like I said before, and the community at large.
Finally, Patrick said that like everything else during this pandemic, things are uncertain and may need to change as the situation evolves.
We all know right now, all of us are in really uncharted territory. Sometimes we feel like we're sort of building the plane as we're flying along here. So if that's a situation we're in, we just need to make sure that we're guided by what the science says and that we're focusing on keeping all of our staff and all of our students safe and healthy.
With BEA President Patrick Murphy, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.